Alright, I just started recording using the Apple Watch 10 camera app, so that's really cool. I can see that I'm in frame. Alright, so I made a video about the Fenix 8 versus the Apple Watch 10, and in the video, it's on my YouTube channel if you want to watch it. It's a 30-minute video. In the end, I said I would go with the Fenix 8, but I ended up going with the Apple Watch 10, and I hope no one bought the Fenix 8 because of my recommendations. But I would own both watches. I wouldn't mind having the Apple Watch 10 and the Fenix 8, but they're both expensive, and I don't think this Apple Watch 10 is worth whatever it is, whatever it was I paid for. It's just sometimes the quality doesn't feel right, especially on the buttons. Like sometimes it feels like it gets a little sticky. I might end up exchanging it if I can. I don't know. Maybe I installed something wrong here, but so the Apple Watch 10 I like because it feels way lighter. I like the Apple Watch faces. I can read the time from almost any angle here. And the Fenix 8, I tried both the AMOLED and the MIPS solar one, and the AMOLED the screen would get so dimmed that you'd have to turn on the display. You'd have to wake it up, or you have to really look at it from straight on. And the MIPS one, it was better in ambient lighting, like using the light from, our ceilings or the outside in the sun. And at night, I like the Fenix 8 would get completely dark because there was no light and I'm going to bed. I don't want to have any bright screens on. So I like that about the Fenix 8. But again, I do like the angle of this. And I can change the watch face to something more digital, like number, versus like a analog type clock. And I'm learning how to read this. I like it. And I like how simple it doesn't look like I'm wearing an Apple Watch, I think. And I could tell the time by just
4:33 p.m.
putting my two fingers on there if I can't read whatever the screen says. I like how subtle this looks. It's not heavy and bulky like the Fenix 8 was. I tried the 43mm AMOLED and the 51mm solar Fenix 8, and the Fenix 8 just felt so bulky. And I do like this Milanese band. It keeps my wrist pretty cool, no irritations. Sometimes it pulls on my hair. I'm not sure why, but it hasn't been pulling my hair lately. The Milanese band. I did buy something like this for the Fenix 8 from a company called Straps Co. I think that's what they're called. But the Fenix 8 still felt super bulky to me, and I didn't like that. And so one thing I will say about the Apple Watch 10, the battery life isn't the best. The Fenix 8, you could get like a month of battery life. This thing, only about 18 hours, maybe less. And you could get it more if you turn on low power mode, but I don't want to turn on low power mode. I want the full power of the battery life on the Apple Watch. So one thing I did to preserve battery life on this Apple Watch 10 was I turned off raise to wake on the Apple Watch 10 because I'm a bicycle technician. I work assembling bicycles, so I'm always using my hands to cut boxes, take bikes out, install handlebars, do the shifting, true wheels, pump tires, throw trash away. And so sometimes I think the Apple Watch would turn on, and that seemed to me a waste of battery. I don't need it to turn on, so I turned it off. And I think that preserved battery life. And one issue that happened when I did that was whenever I would get a text message or an email, which is one reason I wanted to get a smartwatch, was to be able to tell if I got notifications or emails or messages. it would not show up on when I would lift up my wrist to read it. It wouldn't pop up. The message wouldn't show. All I heard was a ding that I received the message. So I had to tap on the screen to wake up the screen, and then the message would come through. So I was able to fix that by turning on notifications on wrist down. So it forced the message to go through, and now I'm able to read my messages and emails. And what else? So the Phoenix 8, it received all notifications. It did not discriminate or differentiate, whatever the word is. And it was, I like that because if I get a Facebook Messenger call, I was able to answer on the Fenix 8. The Apple Watch does not receive any calls through Facebook Messenger. I do get messages from Facebook Messenger or Facebook whatever, but I can't answer calls or make calls with this. Now on the Fenix 8, I can't send messages. I think I can redial if someone called me, but I cannot make a phone call unless I have a Samsung phone. With the iPhone, I heard that you can't send a message, and things like that. So that's not super big deal to me. I don't really want to be able to make calls and stuff like that on the smartwatch, but it would get a little annoying. The Phoenix 8 would just vibrate a lot. Next time, I think if I bought the watch, I would turn off that feature, but I want to know if I got a notification. I know you could turn on the watch face, you could turn on the complications, right? I got battery life on this one, so I can see what battery life is. But I can also, on the Phoenix 8, put something like notifications, and how many notifications I've received. But one thing I noticed with that on the Fenix 8, if I cleared all the notifications, it would show I have 2 notifications left. But I would check my phone. I would check the Garmin 8 Fenix 8. I would check the notifications, and there was 0. So why does it say 2 on there? If you have a Fenix 8, please check it out. Does it show yours as 2? Like for me, that seemed like a glitch, and I'm thinking, for the price of that Fenix 8, what is it, like $1,000+? It shouldn't do that. Like why? So at least with the Apple Watch 10, if I get a notification, I can see a red dot. Then I can check my phone and clear the notifications, which would then clear the notifications from here. So I like that. And what else? I like the Phoenix 8, how you can have like a mountain bike riding activity, walking, cycling. My main form of exercise is cycling. Second is walking. I like to mountain bike. I like to commute to work, to the grocery store, wherever I need to go. I like to use a bicycle, and the Phoenix 8 had a commute, and whenever I used the commute activity and uploaded the ride, Strava would show commute. It was a commute, and I like that because I'm able to show people who follow me on Strava that you can use bicycles to commute, because a lot of people use cars to commute. I still use a car sometimes, but I did like that on the Phoenix 8. And I do like on the Phoenix 8 that I can tell when a ride is uploaded, because I'll hit save and I just know it's gonna upload. So with the Apple Watch 10, it has a workout app, and I can download the Strava app. The workout app, I can choose like, okay, outdoor walk, outdoor bicycle ride, but there's no commute, there's no mountain bike ride. So that's a little sad, but it's okay. And the Strava app, it has a lot of options which I don't like. One of the main reasons too is why I wanted a smartwatch was to be able to record small activities like a half-hour walk or a 10-minute bike ride, or if I forgot my phone or my phone died. But if I'm going on long rides, I can use one of these. And the Fenix 8 just feels like I have one of these on my wrist. I like, so I have this. I can use this to track my longer rides. So really, I don't need something that will track like a 2-hour ride or something. So the Apple Watch seemed a better fit in that category. And so what else? I do like the flashlight on the Fenix 8. Like when I go to bed, I turn off all the lights. And if I have to pee in the middle of the night, I can just tap the on-off button on the Fenix 8 and a nice bright flashlight will turn on. Now with this thing, I have to hit this button, then I have to hit this flashlight, and then I have to turn the crown to increase the brightness. And that's okay, but I do like how simple it is to turn on the flashlight in the Fenix 8. And is there anything else? I think that's all. Yeah, so I made that video about how I was gonna go with the Fenix 8 on that YouTube video on my channel. I hope none of you went with the Fenix 8 because I told you. I was just showing, why the Fenix 8. If I could own both watches, I would, but they're both expensive. I don't think this is worth what I paid for it. It does feel kind of cheap sometimes. Like when I hit the buttons, like, I don't know, sometimes it feels a little cheap. I think this isn't worth that much, but I know the Apple Watch 11 is coming out. I don't care. I just like the look of this. It feels light. I don't want my screen to be any bigger than what it is now. Maybe they'll release like a bigger screen. I like how subtle it looks. It doesn't really look like I have an Apple Watch. Maybe it looks like a nice Chinese knockoff kind of thing. Because I know some people who have those nice Chinese knockoffs. They look like nice watches, but even those people tell me there's some issues with those watches that they have. So I think that's about it. I do like the maps on this thing. I like how I can use it for driving, whereas the Fenix 8, I can make routes on the map on the Fenix 8, but it's mainly for like with this, I can put like a route and I can follow it. If I go off route, it'll just tell me I went off route. It won't recalculate the route. So I don't think the Fenix 8 can do that. I've seen people talk about how it takes long for the route to calculate, or how sometimes there's a calculation error when making the route on the Fenix 8. And that to me is also that shouldn't really happen on something so expensive. And this thing, I can make a route on the Apple Maps and probably sync it to this. I do like being able to use this for maps. That's another reason I wanted to buy a smartwatch. Like when I go to the Philippines, so sometimes it's a new country. I don't know where was that place I bought that drink, or where was that place that I went with someone to go do something, and now I can save locations. I could do the same with the Fenix 8, but again, the maps on this to me seemed way better. But the Fenix 8, I think the route mapping is definitely cool. But again, I have this already, so I don't really need that. And the watch is bulky, and how expensive it is, and how much this works way better with the iPhone. And again, so that's it. I'm gonna turn off the video. Thanks for watching. So see, I can use the camera app here, and then I can turn off the recording. So I hope you liked the video. I hope I was able to speak and you can understand my points. Thanks.